Hi, this is Naomi with Sword and Steel, and today we're going to check out issue 473 of White Dwarf, what the different rules are, what's involved, what might be coming, and all that jazz. So I hope you enjoy. Alright, we have issue 473, 40k Grand Tournament Battle Report. Won't be going over that because I don't go over the battle reports. I leave that for White Dwarf readers. New rules for the Beast of Chaos. We'll be going over that. Index Xenos, Craftworld Altansar, Warcry rules for battles in Thandia, Titanicus, Honor Banners, and much more for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40,000, and a flashpoint of Nachmund, which I still don't know how to pronounce, but I'm calling it Nachmund anyway. Hello, Lyle Lowerly. This is Clash of Tactic title. We usually center our battle reports around narrative and storytelling. Tournament level match play games. Lawrence and Stephen played an excellent, tightly contested games of Warhammer 40k in tournament conditions. We took a new approach to the battle report. Okay. Death and Zeal. Lawrence Baker and Stephen Box were the ones playing. Oh my, look at that. What a nice looking Space Wolf Dreadnought. That's Furiosa. Not Furiosa. What am I talking about? Redemptor Dreadnought. Ah, cute. What? Where's his other leg? Is that holding him up? And he's jumping over this ice? Nice ice, by the way. Cute. Oh, that looks so much fun. By Charles de Belabre. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Iron Hill Dwarves with Crossbows by Jacob Bartkowiak. Iron Hills Dwarves. Nice. The Wormspat by Maciej Sadowski. I like those colors. Those are really pretty. That's a really pretty turquoise. Wargog Prophet by John Wilson. Where have I seen that before? Is that part of the train piece? With all the skulls? I don't remember it being part of this guy. I like it. Very cute. And look at this terrain piece. Oh, look at that terrain piece. That looks so awesome. Painting question, Kragnos answer. Painting question about Kragnos' metal armor. Shadow Warriors by Stephen Lopman. Nice. Pippin, Mary, Sam, and Frodo by Kevin Lawrence. Tech Priest by Eric Gustafsson. Ooh, oh my gosh, the Tech Priest is riding a Wraith. Or created stuff from Wraith. What a cool Tech Priest. That's so awesome. Neat. Tau diorama display by Phil Larissy. Oh, look at that poor suit. And the random little orc skull. And the little mushrooms. I like the color scheme for those Tau. Sophie and Jacob B. Short. Cute. Oh, that's cute. They painted it after their son's design from the looks of it. Ooh, Smog. What? Model of the month. He chats about how he painted it too. Oh, that must have been such a nice thing to complete. Oh, so good. Oh, that was painted by Daniel Breska. Oh, one day I'm going to paint Smaug. One day. From the maelstrom of asunder world, the 8 realms were born, and with their birth began a war to claim them. This issue, 4 huge armies, war in Beast Bridge, and new rules for Warcry. They sent me the Tome of Champions, which has an enormous amount of various things in it, and I am going to be chatting more about that when I actually grab someone to play some Warcry with me. This that'll be somewhat soon, once she comes out of hiding. The Bright City, the city of Hammerhall, numbers among the greatest achievements of Sigmar's folk. Outside Aesir, no stronghold of the God King is greater than this one. Or more accurately, these two, for Hammerhall is so vast that it extends into both Akshi and Gyrin. Some chats about Hammerhall. Look at these nice artworks. Term Celestial. The Cloven Ones, the true children, the Wild Walkers. By these names and more, the beasts of chaos known. Mutant hybrids of cunning man and savage animal, these creatures feel an utter loathing for civilization. They strive to despoil everything in their path, reducing the realms to a state of primal anarchy. The beasts of chaos. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Alright, Battletome update, Beasts of Chaos. They haven't had anything with their Battletome in a while. Welcome to the Battletome Beasts of Chaos update. This is new and exciting rules to use alongside the Battletome Beasts of Chaos in open narrative and matched play. This section of this article has a brand new battle trait, which includes a table of monstrous rampages that can be carried out by Beasts of Chaos monsters. Okay, they get their special rampage, which makes sense, being a whole bunch of monsters. Okay, so To Hunt the Dawn is a campaign arc, your piece. So you got a campaign arc that we can do it as well. That tells the story set on Beast Bridge in Akshi. Now, add the following battle trait to the battle trait section in Beasts of Chaos. When you carry out a monstrous rampage with a Beast of Chaos monster, you can carry out one of the monstrous rampages that follow instead of any other monstrous rampage you can carry out with that monster. So you can do it if you wish. Instead of having only 4 options, which are, you've got the Roar, which can cause someone to shut off their ability to do command abilities. You've got the Stomp, which deals to non-monster guys have a chance to deal D3 damage. You've got the monster dueling, and then you've got the breaking down of terrain, which is handy if you want to break down someone's faction terrain. Or you've got these. Primal Roar. Roll a dice. On a 1, nothing happens. On a 2 to 5, you receive 1 primordial call point. On a 6, you receive 3 primordial call points. Haven't read Beasts of Chaos recently, but I'm assuming the primordial call points work just... this is just a guess, but I'm assuming they work similar to the various other chaos things where you can summon things. I'm assuming. Feast on Flesh. So getting more chance, being able to do more primordial call points is always nice. Though I don't know whether I choose it over a Stomp. But I guess your monster might not be in melee combat, so maybe. Feast on Flesh. Only a Gorgon can be picked to carry out this monstrous rampage, and the same unit can only carry out this monstrous rampage once per battle. Okay. Improve the range characteristic of this model's melee weapons by 1 until the end of the following combat phase. End of the following combat phase. End of the following combat phase. So you get 2 combat phases. Yours and your opponents, or your opponents and yours, depending on when you choose to do this rampage. In addition, until the end of the following combat phase, each time an enemy model is slain by attack made by this model heals a number of wounds equal to the wounds characteristic of that slain model. That's nice. Cool. That's the Gorgon only. Cool. I like that. Devour spell. Only a Psygore can be picked up to carry out this monstrous rampage. Pick 1 endless spell within 6 inches of this model and roll 2d6. If the roll exceeds the casting value of that spell, that value of the spell that summoned the endless spell, that endless spell is dispelled, and this model heals a number of wounds equal to the 2d6 roll. Let's see. Only Psygore can pick it. Pick 1 endless spell. So it's very reliant on endless spells, but hey, it's nice to end the endless spells and be healed at the same time. Cool. It's the Psygore that can do that. Entropic Miasma. Only a Jabber Scythe can be picked to carry out this monstrous rampage. Pick 1 enemy hero within 3 inches of this model and roll a dice. On a 1, nothing happens. On a 2 to 5, worsen the save characteristic of that hero by 1 to a minimum of 6+, until the end of the following combat phase. On a 6, worsen the save characteristic of that hero by 2 to a minimum of 6+, until the end of the combat phase. That could be pretty nasty if you have a whole bunch of other things to go with it, or or you within 3 inches, or you plan to be doing a lot of damage to him shortly, or both. Even better if both. Thrice-fold Savagery. Only a Chimera can be picked to carry out this monstrous rampage until the end of the following combat phase. Add 1 to the attacks characteristic of this model's melee weapons, but all attacks made with this model's melee weapons must target the same enemy unit. Nice. Herdstone War Scroll. Okay. The following War Scroll replaces all variants of this War Scroll with an earlier publication date. So the Herdstone is the faction terrain of the Beast of Chaos. And let's see. You set it up after territories have been determined wholly within your territory and more than 3 inches away from any objectives and other terrain features. Impassable. You cannot move a model over this terrain unless it flies. Entropic Lodestone. Improve the rend characteristic of melee weapons used by all friendly Beasts of Chaos unit on the battlefield by 1. Oh, just on the battlefield. Doesn't matter where they are. Nice. From the start of the 3rd battle round, improve the rend characteristic of melee weapons used by all friendly Beasts of Chaos units on the battlefield by 2 instead of 1. Wow, that's nasty. After this terrain feature is set up, its range is 12 inches. At the start of each battle round after the first, its range is increased by 6. Oh. Okay, there's where that's relevant. Never mind. That's all. That's the Locus of Savagery. If a friendly Beast of Chaos unit wholly within range of this terrain feature fails a battle shock test, have the number of models that flee from that unit rounding down. In addition, if a friendly Beast of Chaos unit wholly within range of this terrain feature receives the Rally command, if you recall, it's the one in your command, not your command phase, in your hero phase that allows you to return models to a unit if it's more than 3 inches away from enemies. So with this, you can return 1 slain model to that unit for each 4+ instead of each 6. Cool. That's nasty. Range 12 inches at the start of each battle round. After the first, its range is increased by 6. Neat. What a neat update. Cool. Open play. So there's some open play stuff. Twists. Nice. During the battle, unit champions cannot issue the Inspiring Presence command. During the battle, players can carry out the same monstrous rampage with different monsters in the same phase. That sort of thing. Now, match to play grand strategy options. After you have picked your army, you can pick the grand strategy below to record on your army roster. When the battle ends, this is protect the herdstone. Oh, you might want to do it. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if there are no enemy units within 9 inches of your herdstone and it has not been picked by a successful smash to rubble monstrous rampage. Which, if possible, if they're striding through there with their monster, they may want to smash to rubble this herdstone. That is true. Particularly if you're choosing that grand strategy as well. Battle tactics. At the start of your hero phase, you pick one battle tactic from the list below. Okay. And some of the battle tactics that would not be relevant to your army. So it's nice to have your own. In the shadow of the herdstone. Pick one enemy within 9 inches of your herdstone. You complete this battle tactic if that unit is destroyed during this turn, which is probably a good idea. Fury of the Wild. You can pick this tactic only in your first turn. So don't forget that it exists, I guess. You complete this battle tactic if the model picked to be your general and 2 or more friendly Beasts of Chaos units are within 3 inches of an enemy unit at the end of this turn. This should be pretty straightforward to take care of. Picked to be your general and 2 other friendly Beasts of Chaos units. I don't know how slow they are, but that should be pretty straightforward. Unless the any enemy unit and enemy units, that should be too hard to carry out. Unless you're versus those nasty flying dwarfs. Wrath of the Warped Wilds. Pick one objective controlled by your opponent. You complete this battle tactic at the end of the turn if you control that objective, and it is contested by any models in your army that were summoned with the Primordial Call battle trait. And it is contested if you control it, and it is contested by any models in your army. Okay. That's definitely a later game one. Path to Glory stuff for your Beast of Chaos. And the campaign. To Hunt the Dawn. The arrogant mortals of Sigmar's host dare to defile the sacred herdstones erected upon the Beast Bridge in their desire to claim more lands. You must summon the true children of chaos to your side and defend these places of primal power. Okay, so this is a campaign for your lovely stuff. A Slythe Marsh, fighting the battle, the choking den, the battle plan. Okay. A tale of 4 warlords. The mortal realms are in turmoil, and who do we have? We have Luminous Realm Lords, slaves to darkness, cities of Sigmar, and Hedonites of Slaanesh. Defenders of Mount Avalanor. Oh, he's got Techless painted. I'm in a daze looking at all the different details. Interesting. He has it more limited in various colors since the blues all match him. Such a pretty blue. And that was by Martin Leon, and he's got quite a number of models now. 3,000 points. Umnai's Wrath by Mayuki Folks. Look at those guys. Set in a bloody snowy scene. I just really like that little dwarf. The Order of Morda by Rich Packer. Pretty. It's a cute creation. Really cool. Anku, Priests of Gravelords, is the Skullmaster sorcerer, whose retinue are the Shades of Morda. Really neat. The Host of Excess. Oh, this guy. Nice color scheme on these, on all of these armor. I like them. It's pretty. What is that? Oh, is that a tentacle? What? I think that is a tentacle. And he talks about the marbleizing effect that he saw in a White Dwarf about a year ago. I saw that same one. It is such a great thing. I know when I saw it while I was checking out the White Dwarf, it is fantastic and it works really easily. So thank you, White Dwarf, for sharing that. Defenders of Mount Avalon. Look at the army. Oh man, it's looking so good. What's that? That's quite a sizable army. Is that also 3,000? Yeah, 3,000. Wait. Oh, okay, we're seeing all of the ones. Like, wait. Why is he in this army? I was just losing it for a moment. Just losing it. I like how one is just rock and one is a volcanic. Oh, we get to see all of them in 3,000. This is what 3,000 points looks like. So much fun. Pretty. Feels like if you're... I should totally steal these heads for Eldar. So I just have hooded Eldar all the way. The Host of Excess. With a giant. A gargant. Ah, looks so good. I really like that turtle shell. Oh, it looks so good. It's a nice looking. This is definitely a sinister looking army. This color scheme is so nice. Oh, I like it. Out of the range on Thandia, the realm of beasts is a dangerous place where wild beasts and terrifying monsters roam free, and even the land itself hungers for flesh. Will your warcry warband enter these ever hungry and ever deadly lands in search of wondrous treasures? If yes, read on. The rules. If you wish your warcry battles to take place in Thandia, it couldn't be simpler. Set up a battle according to the core book, but change steps 3 and 4 as instructed below. In addition, the Thandian savagery rule applies to all fighters. Okay. Roll a dice on a 1 to 4, another dice, and then consult at chart A to generate a victory condition for your battle in Thandia. On a 5 to 6, roll D3 and consult chart B. So these are various victory conditions. Should be fun. Oh, add 1 toughness characteristics of fighters with a lot. Rune mark. That rune mark. Chase them down. Okay, so various victory conditions and various twists. That sounds fun. Riches of Thandia. If you have just played a battle in Thandia and are searching for a lesser artifact, you can use the following method instead of the usual one. Roll a dice on a 1 to 3, another dice, and consult chart A to generate a lesser artifact from your battle in Thandia. On a 4 to 6, roll another dice and consult chart B. So if you're playing a Warcry campaign, then you grab yourself a wee bit of a wee artifact. War Chiefs of Thandia. If you have just played a battle in Thandia and are generating a command trait, you can choose from the listed below: Cagey Prey, Unfeeling Frenzy, Territorial Anger, Pouncing Stalker, Pack Animal, Gargant Crusher. Add 2 to the strength characteristic of the fighter's attack actions that have a range characteristic of 3 or less that target a fighter that has a wounds characteristic greater than this fighter's. Nice. So there you have it, a guide on your taking your adventures to Thandia within the realm of Gur. That sounds fun. That sounds super fun. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. This issue, war in the Nachmund Gauntlet Index, Xenos, Paint Splatter, a match play battle report, and a reader's gallery of knights. Death and Zeal. There's the battle report, and within the battle report is this thing, which has... This is all one sheet. Yeah, all one sheet. It has your war scroll for your herdstone and some epic deed stratagems for that. Cool. Scooting by the battle board. The enemy within the galaxy is being torn asunder, new war zones exploding into life with ever-increasing frequency as the worlds around the Nachmund Gauntlet descend into anarchy. The Imperium must remain vigilant for signs of that most hated foe, heresy. The darkest influence. The Horus Heresy. No instance of human corruption has ever eclipsed that of the War Master Horus in terms of the sheer number of souls who are a part of it, or the unimaginable devastation it caused. Yep. I agree with that one. The Ordo Hereticus. The Inquisition is divided into many sub-organizations known as the Holy Ordos. All seek to preserve the Emperor and the Imperium from threats both within and without. Can you imagine there was a time where Space Marines Astartes couldn't believe that they would ever fight their brothers? So sad. Join the fight! Fight for the Emperor! Fight for the Imperium! Fight for humanity! Join the fight. Cute. Tech Heresy. Oh, the Tech Priest. Oh, this is a whole bunch of nice information. How fun. The Tech Priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus are, and always have been, superstitious and ambitious in equal measure. In the deep past, many technologies developed by mankind have been proven to be too dangerous for the use to be permitted. Except for, they're probably going to use them anyway. The Martyr's Reward. On the world of Acaris, Imperial forces are falling back in the face of a determined foe. The Chimer 64th, led by Major Jesmond Hesper, are all that stand between the retreat and total disaster. But will the Emperor protect them in their moment of sacrifice? Ooh, a little story about the flash pond. Ooh. The faithful hosts. As the war around the Nachmund Gauntlet become ever more violent and destructive, miraculous feats are coming to light on both sides. Some can be attributed to the influence of the dark gods, while others must surely be a blessing from the God Emperor. Over the next few pages, sisters, you will find new rules for using your armies in the Nachmund Flashpoint. These rules follow on from those published last issue, though they can be used independently if desired. Over the page, you will find 8 new stratagems that can be used by any army, including such miracles as They Are Risen, which enable heroes to rise seemingly from the dead to fight once more. There are also 4 new requisitions available to crusading forces. for using, okay, the plus a new psychic discipline for the most righteous psychers, whether good or evil. We particularly like the vortex of holy wrath, which is a really, really angry smite. Okay. In the previous issue of White Dwarf, we presented rules that allows players to begin to take their crusade force on a righteous journey of destruction through the stars. In this issue, we'll find further additional rules that you can use in combination with those ones or in isolation, though we recommend using them together. The rules. So this is for crusade. I really have to start a crusade. I really do. Would you guys like to see a crusade? That sounds like great fun. And I've got a whole bunch of crusade books that 'tis time I looked more thoroughly through to begin a fantastic crusade. You know what? Who better to start the crusade with than Sisters and Black Templar? Correct. Stratagems of proven faith, sign of the divine, a holy presence, righteous rage, they are risen, holy mission, divine shield, the last righteous act, requisitions, righteous disciplines, new cycles, living blessing. It has a warp value of 8. If manifested, select one friendly unit within 12 inches of this psyker until the start of your next psychic phase. Add 1 to the strength and tough characteristics of models in that unit. Cool. That's good. Warp charge of 8. Hard to get, but lovely. Aether Winds, Soul Leech, Guidance of the Divine, Vortex of Holy Wrath, Gift of Holy Fury, Index of Xenos. Okay, let's do this. Craftworld Altansar, forever marked by ions spent trapped within the Eye of Terror. The grim Aeldari of the Altenzar Craftworld are viewed with mistrust and suspicion by others of their kind. Doubted and shunned by their kin, they nevertheless fight against the forces of chaos with a bitter rage born out of long centuries of suffering. Oh, well, guys and girls. At first, the Craftworld's Farseers, Bone Singers, and Void Masters took every step they could to break their world's ship free from the hold of the Immaterium, believing that, though they were in danger, they could escape. They were mistaken. Oh my. So sad. Morgan Ra. I know you. Of all the pupils of the first Phoenix Lord Azerman, it was Morgan. Oh, he's getting upgraded, isn't he? Here are the color schemes, colors of the Craftworld. Though the Aeldari of Altenzar once wore armor in the hue of alabaster and ivory, changes have been wrought in their heraldry by the Craftworld's experience in the warp. The stained reddish purple, now worn by seers and guardians and applied to the Craftworld's wraithbone constructs and war engines, evokes the seas of blood shed by the Altensari in their world ship's defense. Secondary colors include black in honor of Morgan Ra and white, which represent the bones of their fallen ancestors. Well, I certainly like the colors. I must say, that's just pretty. So if I do happen to go with Aeldari in the future, I'd probably go with these guys. The return. Thousands of years have passed. Oh my gosh, that's a long time for you trying to get home. Sad. Alright, Codex Supplement. Altenzar. This section presents the rules for fielding an army formed from the Altenzar and Aeldari Craftworld. When choosing keyword to replace Craftworld, you can choose to replace it instead with Altenzar. If your army is Battleforged and includes any Altenzar units, the rules in this section can be used in addition to those presented in Codex Aeldari. The Craftworld attribute. Gained by Altenzar is Grim Survivors. Okay. Grim Survivors. Each time a model with this attribute makes a melee attack, if that model's unit made a charge move, was charged, or performed a heroic action intervention, this turn, improve the armor pen of that attack by 1. That's for melee attacks. Nice. Each time a combat attrition test is taken for a unit with this attribute, add 1 to the combat attrition test. Okay. Stratagems. If your army includes any Altenzar detachments, excluding the usual, you have access to these stratagems and can spend command points to use them. 2 command points, Inexhaustible Hatred. Use the stratagem in the fight phase when an Altenzar unit from your army is selected to fight unit. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack against a demon unit, excluding vehicle and monster units, add 1 to that attack's wound roll. Darn. You would think it would be like, add 2 if it's against a monster. Defiant to the last. 2 command points. Use the stratagem at the start. I mean, just lore-wise. Use the stratagem at the start of your command phase. Select 1 Altenzar unit from the army until the start of your next command phase. The unit gains the Objective Secured ability. Select it. Okay. Sure. Objective Secured just means that they take priority for securing objectives if you are not familiar with the rules that much yet. A lot of troops have it already. Alright, Withering Volleys, 1 command point, 2 command points. Use the stratagem in your shooting phase when an Altenzar unit from your army is selected to shoot until the end of the phase. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack with an Aeldari missile launcher or Reaper launcher, improve the armor pen by 1. If that unit has the Dark Reapers keyword, this stratagem costs 2 command points, otherwise it costs 1 command point because they're pretty powerful. Thrice Layered Wards, 1 command point. Use this stratagem in your opponent's psychic phase when an Altenzar unit from your army would suffer a mortal wound. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit would lose a wound, roll 1d6 on a 4+, that wound is not lost. That's pretty nice. Also, unit would suffer a mortal wound in your opponent's psychic phase until the end of that phase. Very, very, very straightforward. Very specific, though. Far specific, but I guess better to have it than to not. Warlord traits. And there's always smite. So. Bye. If an Altenzar character model is your warlord, you can use the Altenzar warlord's trait below to determine what warlord that trait they have. You can use it, don't necessarily need to. Master a rune warding in your opponent's psychic phase. If this warlord has the psyker keyword, this warlord can attempt to deny 1 additional psychic power that phase. Nice! Otherwise, this warlord can attempt to deny a psychic power as if they were a psyker. You can re-roll deny the witch tests taken for this warlord. Nice. That's cool. A beacon of light in the darkness. In your command phase, select 1 friendly Altenzar unit within 9 inches of this warlord until the start of your next command phase. If the selected unit is performing an action, it can make ranged attacks without that action failing. Nice! The selected unit can still perform actions in a turn in which it advanced or fell back. Also nice. Always nice to go towards your objectives. The non-combative way of winning. That's nice. Weavers of the Bladestorm, 9 inches. It's easy enough to scoot your warlord in with them. Anyway. Weaver of the Bladestorm. In your command phase, select 1 friendly Altenzar core unit within 9 inches of this warlord until the start of your next command phase. Each time a model in the selected unit makes an attack with a shuriken. Yeah, I just butchered that, but shuriken. Pretty certain that's how you say it. Weapon, an unmodified hit roll of 6 automatically wounds the target. I like it. Getting past big tough guys until the start of your next command phase. In the command phase, it's a core unit within 9 inches until the next command phase. Each time a model is selected to attack with a shuriken weapon, unmodified hit roll of 6 automatically wounds. Nice. get a couple extra wounds in, or lots of extra wounds if you have big units with a big unit of guys with shuriken weapons. Relics. If your army is led by an Altenzar warlord, you can, when mastering army, give one of the following treasures of the Aeldari relics to an Altenzar character from your army. Named characters cannot be given any of the following relics as norm. Savior Stone. At the start of the battle round, when you make a Strands of Fate roll, see Codex Aeldari. If the bearer is on the battlefield, you can do one of the following. Increase the result of one of the dice you rolled by 1 to a maximum of 6. Decrease one of the dice you rolled by 1 to a minimum of 1. Okay. Emblem of the Broken Chain. In your command phase, select one friendly Altenzar core within 6 inches of the bearer. Until the start of your next command phase, you can reroll advance rolls and charge rolls made for that unit. In your command phase. Yeah, I mean, why not? Select, yeah, it's just for free, so why not? If that's particularly if you know that you're going to have terrible charge rolls because you are unlucky. On the other hand, if you're unlucky and you reroll, the reroll is definitely going to be worse. And look at that, easy peasy. We've got the color scheme figured out for it. Craftworld Altansar. What are you? 473. If I want to paint, I shall come back and see about painting them. I have just never been a fan of the cone heads. Nah. That's why I'd use all hoods. Because I've never been a fan. I wonder if I could shave them down. On the other hand, finding different heads could possibly be fun. Find cool elven heads from everywhere. There's a lot of elves in Warhammer. Goes on searching for heads. Pretty heads. Handsome heads. Nice haired heads. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Look how pretty that is. Nice tips. Ooh, loyalists and renegades. Welcome to our first Readers Gallery, a place where we show off some of the very best miniatures painted by you, our readers. For this inaugural article, we delve deep into the team inbox to bring you an impressive selection of Imperial Chaos Knights. Enjoy. Ah, my gosh, look at that coin guy. I like that so much. Okay. Night Desecrator by Daniel Jackson. I won't look too closely at it, because that wouldn't be very nice, I think. But I'm going to have a nice quick glance through. Knight Errant of Housewood Hack by Viet Nugan. Oh my gosh. Dreadblade Knight by Damien Keviolka. Imperial Knight Crusader by Damien Thomasina. Oh, nice sheeny. Knight Ramager by Kenneth Tan. Oh my gosh, I love knights so much. Imperial Knight Warden by Michael Austin Coyne. Oh, Knight Castellan of House Terran by Stephen Garcia. So pretty, that was so fun. I'm gonna go back and look at the knights because I love knights. Okay, the Untamed Relics. Following hot on the heels of the Fatal Edge presented in issue 470, I'm bringing you yet another new and exciting play variant for Warhammer Underworlds. The rules presented here are intended to provide you with different challenges and experiences in a twist to the familiar game. Alright, so let's see. This is by John Bracken. Hello, John. To play a game of Untamed Relics, use all the rules presented in your Warhammer Underworlds core set with the following changes. Where a rule presented here contradicts a rule in your Warhammer Underworlds core set, use the rule presented here. The objective of the game is to have more glory points than your opponent at the end of the game. Oh, pretty. The player to pick their board now chooses another board and places it. Oh, pretty. Playing the game, placing the boards. Territories, Untamed Relics, multiplayer games. Mm. Untamed relics. Well, I'll go into that. That's cool. If we want to spice up your underworlds, new game variant. Honor banners. The god engines of the Collegia Titanica have illustrious histories, many stretching back thousands of years. These impressive sagas are often recorded on honor banners. Here we show how to keep a log of your own Titan's feats and create your own Titan banners. Nice. That's cool. Honor banners are most commonly worn when a Titan is mustering for battle or deployed as part of a triumphal march, and they are traditionally worn between the Titan's legs. It is less common for a god engine to enter battle adorned with such ceremonial honor banners, as the cataclysmic nature of any campaign involving the Collegia Titanica will often see such treasured relics reduced to charred ruin. Which means you should totally have it on and off. When it's on the shelf, it's on, and then, or when you're coming to a battlefield, you have it on, and then when you start fighting, you take it off. That would just be cute and completely unnecessary, but cute. Titan class symbols: Warmaster Titan, Warlord Titan, Warbringer Nemesis Titan, Reaver Titan, Warhound Titan. Crafting your own honor banners, your own legio. That looks like fun to go through. The High Orator. Ooh, an interview with Callum Davis. Oh my goodness, the very, very busy Callum. The High Orator. The Tome Keepers are a space marine chapter created by the White Dwarf team and now immortalized in literary form by a 6-part Black Library serial. Author Callum Davis joins us to talk about creating legends, writing tomes, and introducing a suitably devious foe. Callum, how busy are you, Callum? How did you first get into? I'm going to not answer. I'm not going to read out his answers, but I will read out all of the questions that they posed to him. I'm curious. I'm going to read his answers after, though. How did you first get into Warhammer, Callum? What have you done at Games Workshop? How did you get the Tome Keepers gig? So what's the story about? Who are they fighting now? What is it like writing about them? Do you have a favorite character? Oh, tough, he says. Tough to decide. And there we go. Another little story by Callum Davis. Duel of Words. Anarchy reigns in the skies above Anakletos, as insurrection threatens supply lines vital to the Indomitus crusade. As the Tome Keepers make planetfall, old grievances raise their heads, and it appears that they will find new allies in the second part of Heirs of Reason. Anakletos. Ooh. Nice art. Nice. La da 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 da. Inside the studio, as we come to the end of the magazine, we take a look at the games the studio staff have been playing and the models they've been painting. This month, we've got vampires, ghosts, heroes, beasts, something risky, and a couple of space marines to keep an eye on things. I recognize that. Look at that risk. Sounds fun. Risk. Whoa, hold on. Risk Warhammer 40,000. Having returned to the studio, Lyle, Andrew, and Matt and Jonathan crack open the copy of Risk Warhammer 40,000 we've been lucky enough to get our hands on. That sounds like a game I would want to play, totally. With the game set on Vigilus, Matt consolidated his Aeldari forces around the Otek Hive Sprawl, containing Andrew's strung-out Chaos Space Marines in the Orc scrap cities. Lyle, the only person to have played Risk before. What? I don't know how many games of Risk I have played, but I've played a significant amount, and I just naturally assume that everyone had also tried it out. Silly me. Used Marnius Calgar, +1 to the highest disc. to the highest dice, and his Ultramarines to defeat Abaddon reroll ones, and quickly came Australia. Check your local gaming store for Risk Warhammer 40,000. Okay, I will check my local gaming store. Chaplain by Callum McPherson. Nice. Doc Chaplain. Space Wolves Intercessor by Tom Moore. I painted this display model using the heavy metal color scheme. Nice looking Space Marine. Hobby Bingo on its way. Ooh, what are those? What are those? After months of sitting forlornly on my desk, painted 10 brimstone horrors to go with the blue horrors. Ah. I like this fading effect you have going on. Pretty. By Lyle Lowry. And Matthew Hudson. This pretty color combination. Hobby Bingo Spotlight. German translator Dirk Weiner has been raising the dead. Oh, look at those Black Knights looking so good in armor. And a vampire lord. I like that armor. Ooh, and he even tells you how he did it. Next issue, Kill Team Harlequins. Ooh. Pretty. Like these two. Matt Sangor and Peter's Undead Force. Peter McCullen and Matt. Okay. Nice. Harlequins versus some sisters. Oh, nice leather. Huh, that's pretty. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Bye! Oh, and you probably didn't see it very well, but the slightly sparkly sheen was created. These kind of sparkly glossy sheen was created by Sparkle Motion, Turbo Dork Sparkle Motion, because I was curious what it would look like just as a gloss. And yeah, it's pretty nice. Makes something sparkly immediately. So that's kind of cool. All right, where would I use it? On Angel Wings? On maybe teeny weeny. On ice. You know what would be good on this? You know the Blizzard texture paint of ice. Valhalla Blizzard texture paint. Something Blizzard. That makes snow. It's a bit matte. Any of them are a bit matte. And this probably would make a really nice sparkle effect on snow, because to make real snow, it really needs to sparkle. Says the Newfoundlander who just got hit with a whole bunch of snow. So make your snow sparkle and it'll look more like snow. That's my tip of the day. You're welcome. Okay, bye.